I'm Indiana Tones. I'm a self-described tone chaser. I've been a tone chaser for, most of this year. Indiana Tones it's my tone chasing persona. I kind of adopted this, set me apart from all of the other tone chasers. I do think it gives me an edge. In a lot of ways, it's kind of why I wear the outfit, to get respect. When I discovered tone chasing, I was like, this is for me. This is cool. I can get into this. I haven't been doing it long. I think I have a natural ability at it, honestly. I remember it was a Wednesday. I had my Chibin Jim out. I had a chib grip. I was putting it in the tone hole and then I kept taking it out. Something clicked and I was like, this could actually be useful if it was inside of me, like internally. It's called tone foam. No. I spoke to my surgeon and we made an arrangement. It'll probably take 20 minutes. And I had the surgery. I was recovering and I just ordered the Squatty pedal. It's a new pedal that just came out. It's 2 wah pedals. It helps to promote good bowel movements when you're on the toilet. It had some videos going on in the background. I remember someone had said the phrase Tonewood and I was like, that's a funny phrase.
To settle the debate on Tonewood.
I mean, this stuff just rings. It's a beautiful tone to it.
I never heard it. I was like, what is Tonewood?
My conclusion here when doing the Tonewood test is, don't waste your time, don't waste your money.
A couple hours later, I was polishing one of my guitars. And it was strange because I was seeing that there was like a debate going on where some people were saying Tonewood was real and then other people were saying Tonewood was fake.
Tonewood Debate is back in the news again and it's just as silly, if not sillier than before.
Just based on the volume of videos, I started to feel the sense of like, how did I not know that Tonewood was a thing?
Gets dust on it because it gets played a lot.
That was tough for me because a lot of my favorite YouTubers had an opinion about Tonewood.
What I'm trying to say is Tonewood is real.
Some of them were like, this is not real.
Tonewood is bullshit. Don't believe the hype, yo.
Others were like, this is very real.
I'm here to share with you my 52 years of experience and tell you that the wood does affect the sound of an electric bass.
I don't want to be in a scenario where other tone chasers are around and then that question comes up, what do you think about Tonewood? I want to have the right answer. I don't want to look like I don't know what I'm talking about. I knew right there and then I had some research to do.
Hey everybody, I'm Rick Beato. In today's episode, I'm going to tell you who
So Rick Beato came into the picture because I had seen that he was coming to town to do a lecture.
Tickets just went on sale at the Presidio Theater in San Francisco on September 25th.
I thought Rick Beato is like the biggest YouTuber on the planet. He knows a ton about tone. Maybe I could just ask him whether or not Tonewood is real.
What I'm trying to say is Tonewood is real.
Tonewood is bullshit. Don't believe the hype, yo.
I ended up going down to the Presidio Theater in San Francisco. I was thinking about how I would approach him and ask about Tonewood. I brought my cable with me and I worked on some cable work. I practiced some scales and just kind of got in the zone. And there was a moment, I remember we were out on the lawn and I was just making notes trying to decide how I was going to phrase this question. Is Tonewood real? If anybody's going to know, it's definitely going to be Rick Beato. And at the very end of the lecture, after the Q&A, I was like, well, this is my opportunity. I had a friend film the interaction. Right as I was walking away, I said to him, I was like, Rick, is Tonewood real?
Tonewood real.
And I remember he kind of hesitated for a second, and then he looked at me. I remember he gave me an answer, and I wasn't sure about it.
Up to the personal, Okay.
And my friend who was filming laughed because he thought I was joking, but I wasn't joking. I really actually wanted to know. I remember thinking about it and being like, what did he mean by that? Here I was thinking I was going to get the answer, and Rick's response actually kind of gave me more questions than answers. If a tone chaser came up to me today and said, is Tonewood real? What am I gonna tell them? It's up to you? That's not good enough.
I want an audience that appreciates our intellect as well as enjoying our loins.
But sir, where will you find such an audience?
In America!
I saw that the band The Darkness was playing. They're huge, massive band. Both Dan and Justin Hawkins are massive tone chasers. Maybe they've heard something about Tonewood. We headed down to the Fillmore in San Francisco, and I was able to get through security and check out the band's sound check. I was watching the band and they sounded amazing, and I was like, God, their tone is so good. And I remember sitting there and I was looking at all the pedals they had on stage and checking out what amps Dan was playing through and what guitar Justin was playing. These guys are serious tone chasers. They know a ton about tone. Justin pulled me aside and he said, let's go talk outside where it's a little quieter, have a little bit of privacy.
I just think less stages of interference between my hands and the sound.
After a few minutes, that's kind of when I kind of hit him with the question. I asked him if Tonewood was real. Is Tonewood real? Or is Tonewood fake?
Can you define Tonewood?
Well, so Tonewood, it's certain types of wood that give off different frequencies based on... He didn't know anything about this. And I was a little surprised that Justin had never heard about the Tonewood debate. Types of wood, so they give off a certain resonance. It's more... So I filled him in and I explained to him that, some people think that Tonewood is fake. He started to think about it for a while.
What you're listening to when you fret on a board is the sound of some metal. So the two ends of the string that resonate, one of them is a piece of nickel or whatever it is, the actual fret
on it,
the wire. And then the other end of it is the bridge. It's also metal. So it's got nothing to do with the wood whatsoever that's on the fingerboard. So even if Tonewood exists, just touching the Tonewood isn't going to make any difference because the actual sound is happening between the metal and the metal.
He started to lean towards Tonewood wasn't real, which, looking back, I mean, he had some good points. It's just that I don't know if I was ready to hear that. That's interesting. I never even thought about the strings and the...
He's not touching any wood.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be. Unless you're getting fret buzz, but you don't really want a good...
No, and that's not...
Like that.
And there's not like a tone, but no. Wow.
Science.
As he was talking, I kind of started to tune things out. What I was concerned about was, what if Justin Hawkins thinks I believe in Tonewood, but he thinks that it's fake? That creates a dilemma. If Justin thinks it's fake, and Rick Beato thinks it's up to the person to decide, I don't know if Tonewood's real. Is Tonewood real? The longer time went on without me having an opinion about Tonewood, the more and more insecure I became. People are going to start asking questions. They're going to question the validity of my tone chasing. That's when I went to go see Eagle Bones. Is Tonewood real? I don't know if Tonewood's real.
Tonewood is real.
Tonewood is bullshit.
If you know the Aquabats, you know Eagle Bones, you know that he's a massive tone chaser. We went down to Santa Cruz and I met up with Eagle Bones behind the venue. He's been around the world and has studied tone. If anybody was going to know if Tonewood was real, it's got to be Eagle Bones.
I see like a pedal I like to kind of just do a little number like that. Yeah.
Right before they went on stage, I was able to corner Eagle Bones and just ask him point blank, look, is Tonewood real?
Some people believe that Tonewood is real, and then other people believe that Tonewood is fake.
Really?
I was actually shocked by what he said.
Tonewood is real. I've seen it. I've been there.
He said, not only is it real, but he could prove it.
I've seen the forest where it's grown. Like you, I've been on many quests, many journeys, taking me around the world, and I found the Tonewood forest.
And I was like, what? I asked him, I was like, how can you prove it? And then he explained to me there was a forest devoted to Tonewood.
There's a whole history to it. It just doesn't get talked about. It's kind of hush-hush.
He started to tell me how to get there and all of the different parts of the Tonewood forest, the different types of woods that are grown there. And I just couldn't believe it. I said, if this is true, draw me a map.
Draw a map or something? Like, could you?
I mean, maybe.
Sure enough, Eaglebones turned around, he got out a notepad, and he started to draw the map. He drew out every section of it. This is where Tonewood is from.
Piranhas everywhere.
But I knew my journey wasn't over. I still needed answers. After Eaglebones gave me the map, they directly went on stage. I remember being on the side of the stage watching them. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed on the stage that there was this giant tarantula that had come down. I had my cable with me. That's kind of when I went into fight or flight mode. These are my friends. I'm gonna protect them. You know, I'm not a hero. Heroes, you know, I don't like that title, but caring about tone, it can be very dangerous. It's not something that you can just slap on an outfit and do. Is Tonewood real or is it fake? There's a lot of people on the internet. They have a lot of opinions. And some of those opinions are about the validity of Tonewood. And I'm here to tell you, Tonewood is real. Without a doubt, Tonewood's definitely real. It has to be real.